Hi guys. Um, it's time for me to do another video. I just reviewed Ender's Game a couple minutes ago. But now, this video is going to be about the films of another director. A couple weeks ago I did a video on the films of Steven Spielberg that I own and explaining how I felt about each one. Now this video is going to be about the films of David Fincher. So I'm going to be talking about some of his movies that I own. Yeah, I'll be reviewing each one. So let's get started. First up I have David Fincher's third movie that he ever made, and that is Seven. Now, this is a really good movie. I'm going to be honest. David Fincher mostly directs mysteries and thrillers, and this is one of his best ones. Because the movie is really just about this psycho killer, and every time this guy, played by Kevin Spacey, kills people, he leaves a word somewhere for these two detectives to figure out exactly what it means, and that eventually leads them to him. Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman are absolutely perfect in this, especially with Brad Pitt. And Kevin Spacey, who plays the killer John Doe, he's also really good. And to me, the things that stand out in David Fincher's films are the cinematography and the acting. The cinematography in this is absolutely brilliant. I mean, the colors are so well used in this. The lighting. Most of David Fincher's movies have a very dark and dreary look to all of them. Especially Fight Club, but we'll talk about that later. But still, this is a very well written and acted movie, as well as the cinematography is still very good. Do I have any problems with it? Not really, no. It's not one of my all-time favorite movies, but it's still very well made. I'll give it that. And the relationship between Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman is also very well done. So I will give Seven a frickin' awesome. Okay. Next up we have Fight Club. Fight Club, everybody. Now, I've already talked about Fight Club a couple times. I did an entire review on it. I talked about how I think it's more of an art house film than a drama and a comedy. It really is an art house movie if you break it down. Kind of similar to Only God Forgives. But Fight Club I love because it's such a brilliantly executed movie. It's such a mindfuck that it works. And it's really a cult movie. Everybody, lots of people on YouTube love it. I myself, too, and I've only seen it about 4 or 5 times, and I love it. I'm actually thinking about putting this on my favorite movies of all time list. I'm thinking about it. I did a video on my favorite movies of all time, but this wasn't on there. But Fight Club, very funny, brilliantly shot. The cinematography in this is absolutely perfect. And I think this is David Fincher's best film as well, because it has his classic style of great cinematography and acting. Brad Pitt and Edward Norton are so perfect in this. Especially Brad Pitt, Tyler Durden. He's such a badass. He's like a very free spirit. He's like, I don't care. Stop with your little routine. Learn to let go. And the incredible twist at the end where you find out Brad Pitt and Edward Norton are the same person. It's incredible. And also the music in this by the Dust Brothers, awesome. And it also has a lot of very quotable lines too, like, "You are not a beautiful and unique snowflake. You are not your job. Self-improvement is masturbation." Welcome to Fight Club. The first rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club. Bob had bitch tits. His name is Robert Paulson. The quotes in this movie are also awesome too. and I think this is David Fincher's best movie. Come on, it's awesome. I'll give Fight Club a friggin' epic. That's the highest rate I can give a movie. Alright, next up we have, I guess one of David Fincher's, like, lesser-known movies, Zodiac. I've only seen this about twice, but it's so good. I mean, I don't love it a lot, but it's really entertaining. Every single actor in this is perfect. I mean, Robert Downey Jr. is my favorite part of it. And it's based on a true story about this serial killer. And a lot of the things that are in this movie, I think, were kind of... I think this movie was inspired by Dirty Harry, just a little bit. And actually, Dirty Harry is actually shown in part of this. Yeah, the similarities between this and Dirty Harry, as far as a mystery movie goes, are very well portrayed. Even though this is based on a true story and Dirty Harry was not, I can kind of see similarities between the two. But still, a very, like I said, a very mind-bending movie like most of David Fincher's movies are. And I freaking love David Fincher, man. Definitely gonna see his next movie, Gone Girl, next year. But Zodiac, I really like every single actor in this is brilliant, especially Robert Downey Jr. It's very intense, very dramatic. At times I think it's a little too long, but still good. So I will give Zodiac a freaking awesome. Okay, next up we have another David Fincher movie with Brad Pitt that came out about a couple years ago. Curious Case of Benjamin Button. Yes, this was directed by David Fincher. Now, Curious Case of Benjamin Button. I've only watched this a couple of times. I remember seeing it in the theater. And to be honest, this is one of my least favorite David Fincher movies. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, the concept, the main idea behind this movie is pretty interesting. A guy who was born backwards. Now that's probably the most interesting thing about this. Brad Pitt, Benjamin Button, his character is born backwards. He's born an old man and dies a baby. That is pretty interesting. But at the same time, I think it's a little too overlong and a little too many flashback scenes. I mean, it's not completely horrible, but it's one of my least favorite David Fincher movies. I just can't get into it as much as, like, Fight Club, for instance. But yeah, it's still okay. Like, I'll give Benjamin Button a freaking good. In other words, it's okay, but not one of my favorites. Alright, next up we have another one of David Fincher's movies that's based on a true story, and it's about something that's related to our everyday lives. And that is Social Network. Social Network. I really like Social Network. It's not one of my favorite David Fincher movies, but I still really enjoy it. And now let me tell you something. This movie is not necessarily about the founding of Facebook. It's more about a friendship being destroyed because of money and stuff. And it is very well acted. Jesse Eisenberg and Andrew Garfield are very good in this. Like I said, at times I think it's a little too long, but still good. And the cinematography in this is brilliant. Now, David Fincher shoots on digital cameras now. And to be honest, as far as my directing style goes, I'm sort of a combination of David Fincher and Christopher Nolan. Like, I am all for Christopher Nolan's practical effects. I love how 90% of his movies are done for real. I love that about Christopher Nolan. I myself have the same beliefs. But as for David Fincher, I would rather shoot on digital than film, to be honest, like David Fincher. Because I think digital is less expensive and just a little bit better than film as far as it's easier to use, it's not as expensive, and it gives you a better resolution than celluloid does. By the way, off topic. Social Network, very well acted movie, and the cinematography is also great. Even though it's not one of my favorite Fincher movies, it's still good. So I will give Social Network a freaking good. In other words, it's okay. It's just not one of my favorite David Fincher movies, but still good at parts. Alright, now we come to the final David Fincher movie that I own. And this is a recent one, and it's based off of a book. Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. I really love this. This is probably my second favorite David Fincher movie. My all-time favorite is Fight Club. But the reason I love this is because, yes, it's based off of a book. But the things that stand out in this movie, once again, the cinematography. This was shot on the Red Epic camera. Cinematography, acting, absolutely brilliant. Rooney Mara was Oscar-worthy in this. She was fantastic, her performance in this. And yes, I absolutely love this movie, but one thing that bothers me about it is the rape scene. I have to skip over that every time I watch this movie. It's extremely brutal. I can't really get over that scene. But other than that, the movie is absolutely brilliant. And yes, it's another one of David Fincher's thriller movies, and Daniel Craig also was very good in this. And this is one of those movies that when I watch it, I feel like I'm there, you know? I feel like I'm solving the mystery with the two of them. And the eventual killer in this movie, I didn't really see coming. But still, this is a brilliantly shot and acted movie, just like most of David Fincher's movies are. And it's my second favorite David Fincher movie. Excellent movie. Like, I could give it like an A- or something. The reason I give it an A- is it's great, but I just can't get over the brutal rape scene. But yeah. And also, excellent artwork on this, too. Okay. So I will give Girl with the Dragon Tattoo a freaking awesome. Okay. Those are the films of David Fincher that I own. I think all of them are good. I have problems with a couple of them, but most of them are really, really good. My all-time favorite David Fincher movie is Fight Club, just because I think that's flawlessly shot and acted. But yeah, those are the films of David Fincher I have. Let me know what your favorite David Fincher movie is. He's done a lot. I don't own all of David Fincher's movies, but yeah, those are the ones that I own. So yeah, see you some other time. Bye.